Say hello.
Hello. See, the sound is very different, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So when I deactivate my Bluetooth, it disappears from that screen. That's interesting.
You got something there, didn't you?
Huh?
You had it for a second.
Yeah.
I think there's a knack to turning the Bluetooth off when you're ready to go, and then turning it on, and it hooks up quick. You know, sometimes when it's searching and it can't find it, at that point, if you turn the Bluetooth off when things are ready.
So I disconnect me here, and then I connect.
Like turn it off completely and then on.
Yeah. I did already. I turned it off and on. See the internet and my Bluetooth, the bug here when they connected together at the same time.
Do you want to use my phone? Bring it home with you?
No, it's fine anyway. It's
Bring this home for the little fella.
You do?
No.
You want me to?
You
But
do?
put it in my
Just a
bag. Yeah.
little bit of ham. God, that's annoying. Keeps going off. Are you going to eat something, or shall I turn off? Really? The crepery's not. Right, so
I'll see you there. Yeah.
see you. Let me just check myself. See you later.
Wait.
Bye. Everybody loves someone sometime. Everybody loves a bit of English. Okay, it's I guess 2:15. Quarter past 2. And it's the 25th. I want to have a look at something here. I want to have a look at where that car crashed yesterday. So, where was it? It was here. Pizza place. Can't really see anything. I guess it kind of crashed into the metal grill that they use for security. Anyway, I'm now walking toward the old shoppy. It's going to end up doing a big detour. The sun is out today. And everything looks really nice. Bright sunshine, some clouds. It's the type of weather makes the scenery look nice. Now, where am I going? There's no point in going down to the car park. I'm walking around the back of the shoppy place. Where's that dog? God, it feels strange walking here. I've got such a routine. I always walk the same way. It's one dog locked up and one cute dog walking past. I'm coming out at the back of the church, and I'm gonna walk past my old dentist, Madam Butcher. And we've got the two little terraces from the 9 and the cat season. I thought you could get out of here. You can't. Let's try an exit. Yeah, it's odd to be going a different direction here. I'm on the far side of the road. And it triggers something. My thoughts immediately go to the drinking days. Because this is the kind of thing I would have done back then. With my whiskey in my pocket. I'd try and find a quiet way to maybe get out of the town. or just a different way. This is one of those perfect drinking days. Beautiful light. Oh, it's a Saturday, that's why it's... I was just thinking I don't hear the sound of any kids. And I'm passing by, coming close to a couple of schools. Of course, the reason I don't hear any kids is because it's Saturday. And also the reason the Fiat garage across the road is closed, and there seems to be less activity. Yeah, a lot of the mechanics and people like that, they don't work on a Saturday. So I have my microphone clipped in place by the special little clip that Flo got me yesterday. Seems to work. I walked home this time yesterday at the same time, and I may have been thinking to myself then, well, this time tomorrow the dentist will be done. And indeed it is. Of course, I still feel the work of it. And I feel a little nervous about the job. It's not something I thought I would. I think I'll feel a lot better in a week when he takes the stitches out and checks it. I'll feel at ease when he kind of, I'd like him to give me the okay. Strange thing about the job yesterday was that I think that the taking away of the diseased, infected tissue wasn't that bad. I mean, bad enough. But, yep. Looking at two guys ahead of me. I'm on the far side of the road and I'm going past the Carrefour contact shop, and there's two guys going through the parking area. They just look suspect to me. Maybe I'm being suspicious for no reason. Maybe they're just parked on the other side or something. Yeah, so he cleaned all the stuff out. But then what really caused the most discomfort, I think, was the fact that he had to do a job at the very end of the roots on the two teeth. And I can still feel that now in the teeth. He cut something and then he filled up the bottom of each canal to create a vacuum, kind of, I think, where the infection was, and the idea that will all get back to normal and that there's a slight hole that will fill itself. It'll grow back. But I have to say that part of the job was really kind of nasty. I could feel him drilling and digging around in the canals, and I wasn't expecting it. I was just expecting him to be honest, just to take out the bad tissue. And so I didn't expect to hear the noise of the drills or any kind of poking like that, you know. And I didn't think about he was going to use the filling material to fill up the holes. And so I'd say he probably took out most of the bad tissue in about 20 minutes, and then he spent the next 40 minutes doing that other thing. It was an hour altogether. And I can pretty honestly say I kind of felt every minute of it. Even putting the stitches in, it always seems like it's probably just an inch maybe, but anything dealing with your mouth, it feels like the guy is just hacking away and just digging a huge hole in your face, you know. Afterward though, there wasn't really, I put some ice on it, there wasn't really any swelling. And to be honest, there hasn't really been any pain to speak of. But I feel a bit delicate about the whole thing. I'm hoping it all comes back healthy, heals itself up. I'm sure it will. Maybe it'll take a bit of time for I mean, there is a sense of relief, obviously, because when I go back again, for instance, it's just to have stitches out. And that's not too bad. So that's it, there's no other cavities, I'm okay for a few months. Yeah. I'm practicing what I'm going to say to him next week. So that's it, I'm okay, there's no more cavities or anything I need to have sorted out. I'm fine for 6 months now. I think over the course of the next few days I'm gonna have an increased feeling of relief and I don't know what to call that emotion. When something is taken and finished and it's not it's not there clouding your mind in terms of something coming that you don't want to have to do, you know. Because when I had that initial thing way back with him, I didn't really like the idea, and then to have it done and had that appointment, it was made about 2 months ago. Sure. And so it's something coming that you're not looking forward to. And I think it's going to be nice in a few days when things kind of get back to normal. I won't have, I guess, and I'm trying to say in a very long-winded way, is I won't have a nasty dentist appointment waiting for me in 2 months. Hopefully. So that's that. As you can hear, I've left the busyness of the road and I'm now heading past some olive trees on the left side. People are out walking today. Kind of wondering would it have made much difference if he hadn't bothered filling the root canals at the base like he did. It would have been a lot easier. I guess there's really no point in contemplating any of that now. It's done. I'm certainly not going to ask him to take them out. What else is there to think about? Nothing much. I'm glad I'm out walking again. I've done quite a bit of walking over the last few days. The weather's not too bad. And I've uploaded a couple of quick sketches. Humor is objective. I've been looking at Gus Johnson's stuff. You start looking at someone's videos and then you find that the other videos keep coming up on the right hand side. So the more you watch, the more ones get advertised to you. So I've been kind of binge watching a lot of stuff. And some of his situational stuff is funny. I mean, it's all funny. I love some of the stuff he does. and I like the way he plays characters. It's kind of exactly what I'd like to do. I'd like to do it, but I don't know if I have the wherewithal to be able to play like movie executive skit. It's also impossible to know if you're actually funny or not in these skits, you know? I think you just have to, you know, I make people laugh all the time when I'm with people. And I think the stuff I do, it's not, I don't like stuff to be just funny. I like it to be funny, but have something, you're making a point at the same time. Anyway, I don't think I want to go on about that for the whole trip home. Sun's gone in behind a big cloud, and it seems to be clouding up all around. What is there to say? A month ago it was Christmas Day, and I was thinking earlier that it seems longer than a month. A month ago today we were driving home from Narbonne, and Flo decided we were going to go to another small kind of medieval town whose name escapes me. And it ended up being quite a big detour. But this time, last month, we were in the car probably heading toward that place. And then after that, of course, we went to Marval for the new year. That's not quite a month ago yet. The end of 2019. And Flo and me are talking about going to America this September. We want to contact Pam and check if she'll be available to be a guide for us. And then we're hopefully going to book a ticket and go for 2 weeks or so. We've been planning to go to America for about a decade. familiar sound of a dog protecting his garden. What else is there? When I was looking at that last video of Gus Johnson, he made a promise on his Reddit account that he would give a stern look to his cat for every vote of upvote he got. That's as bizarre as it sounds. And he got 11,143, I think, which meant he had to give us 11,143 or 443 stern looks to his cat. It is as absurd as it sounds. And he went ahead and did it. Like a speeded up video of 45 minutes. It must have taken him all day to just look at his cat with the stern look. But the thing that's interesting to me is that he also had to go to the dentist that day and have 2 wisdom teeth removed. And I thought, wow, it's one of those kind of strange coincidences. I'm sitting there holding my mouth and very much in the dentist mood because of all of this stuff. And then I kind of click on the one video of, I don't know how many hundreds of videos he's done, where he probably only one of the few, maybe one of the only ones where he talks about actually having to go to the dentist. It's one of those strange kind of moments of alignment on some level. The other thing about Gus is that he's doing videos pretty much exactly how I'd like to be doing stuff, but I'd like to be getting the views he's getting as well. But he's way ahead of me in lots of respects, in terms of confidence and imagination and speed of mind. I guess you can hear my shoes walking very clearly. I'm going downhill, but I'm going into the housing estate. But it is the stuff that I want to do, you know, and maybe it's my looking at his videos that has got, you know, I don't think so, because I've always had, even before, I mean, the very big years ago, I was doing stuff with Flo, actually, in Elthorne Park when we went for walks. We were doing funny videos, this is actually before YouTube, doing videos with no intention of uploading them. So I've always had that thing. And when you see Gus doing stuff, 2-minute video, 400,000 views. Hello, little fella. That's a fucking scary dog in that house. I wouldn't like to go in there. The postman around here must be glad they delivered a post to a block of boxes in the middle of the street rather than having to go into anyone's house. I guess I'm learning from these guys. It's you pick out things that you like, and you think that's a good style. I was talking about this yesterday, actually. This notion of wouldn't it be great? That's not a sentence. This notion of is not the way to start a sentence that carries on. Wouldn't it be great? Doesn't make sense. What I wanted to say was, wouldn't it be great if you could find a format that acted as a perfect outlet for things you wanted to say, things you wanted to vent about as an artistic way. I've said this before, if someone had told me about YouTube before it came, say 15 years ago, and they said there'll be this format where you can just record stuff and then upload whatever you want. Can be anything, can just be whatever you want. I would have sworn to them that that's for me. I will be able to upload something every day, probably more than one thing every day, because I am never short of something to say. I would have been convinced. It's like the technology was built for someone like me. But I don't upload things every day. I don't have lots and lots of ideas. I'm not as creative as I'd like to think. And also having more interest in your videos does act as a great kind of stimulus, I think, to help push you to do more stuff. It is a bit disappointing or whatever when you do stuff and you know that you're not going to get more than 5 views. I mean, I still do it if something is strong enough. And I've been saying to myself for a long time, you should really let go more. If something annoys you, instead of writing comments, let's say, you could pick on something that really bothers you. Not bothers you, get your passions going, let's say. This fatima thing, let's say. Then do a video on it, do a rant on it. You just show a few pictures, you talk, you do some funny cuts and edits with the camera, add in a bit of music, and at the beginning you don't even care about it. You can use whatever music, whatever you want. Everything's there, it's like, I don't know why I'm not doing better stuff. It's like acting teacher once said to me, you've got it in your head, you just need to get it out. And me, sometimes I see videos, but I realize now if I do the videos I'm thinking about, I'm seriously just copying the guys that I'm watching. I'm just copying iDobbs, the way he comes into the room, the way he sits down in front of the camera, and the way he, does stuff. Or Gus, the way he comes and sits down. And I'm copying a style. And really what you want to do is create your own style. You don't want to copy someone. You can pick stuff from it, I guess. You can realize that it is possible to do a video from your room, and that your room can be the studio to do all the videos if you want. There's nothing, everybody's doing that. much. I've got to find something perhaps new. I guess. Bonjour. Goddamn. I didn't see that. I just heard a bike kind of squeak to a halt. And for a millisecond I thought, oh shit, the bike crashed into the women that just passed me. No, they just all know each other. And my mind just now has gone back to when I was working in, God, was it the Questers or was it actually, it may even have been the little theatre in Carlow. My God, that's a bizarre recollection because it kind of lost all trace of that memory. But yeah, I was with that for a while. I did some readings with a guy with a beard, and we were going to do this and that. We ended up doing nothing, and I think I was a stage hand for something for a bit. So I think it was a guy there that said to me, the first thing you need to have, the most important thing you need to have before you write a book or before you do anything like a play or even a sketch is you need to want to say something. I've always taken that with me, and I think it's very true. If you really want to say something, there's some kind of something in it that generates its own passion in what you do. If you aren't really saying anything and you're just trying to be funny without any kind of, scenario there, it's more difficult. That first vlog I did when I was thinking about my friend I Am Apollo and all the videos he puts up talking about what he's going to do and talking about the great content, and I'm thinking, wow, it's funny because he doesn't do anything, but he talks like he's doing. He's got like 1,000 subscribers. Anyway, the point is, as I was walking back with Tuco and I had the idea to do that thing, I really wanted to get that out of my system in a sense. It really came from somewhere, and it was so easy to do because I'm like, look at this character, look at me. How many guys do you see like this on YouTube? Obsessed with getting subscribers and clicks and telling you to hit the notification bell, and they don't do anything. They have absolutely no real content. They've got nothing to say. I have to keep in mind, of course, that I'm an old guy at this point. I'm in my 50s. If I'd been in my 20s, I'd probably be worse. Look at me. I went to Drama Centre for 2 years. Did I have anything to say there, or I just went for all the wrong reasons? But if you watch something, if something bothers you, for instance, maybe, sometimes you look at comments and you see people, they're criticizing something, but in the way they go about the criticism, they're becoming exactly like what they're criticizing. Bonjour. There's an incredible amount of hypocrisy in the comment section. But instead of kind of going on and, getting annoyed by that, that's a perfect moment to maybe take a pen to paper and write down 4 or 5 lines so that you've got some base, and then turn the camera on and do some kind of improvisation, to try and be one of those guys. it's much, much more fulfilling if you can do a little scene, even if you're doing, let's say you're doing two characters talking to each other. But secretly you're trying to get across this stupidity. You know, you're hoping that people will get the point. But that's having something to say. You have something to say. I have no idea what anyone would think if they got to my channel. If a guy like me looked at one of my comments and then went onto the channel, he sees the things and he gels with them, and he just looks at all those videos there. I mean, is it interesting enough to, obviously you're not going to click on The Sims perhaps, or SimCity, if you have no interest. But maybe you see something else and you go, what the hell's that? I'm going to click on that. And maybe you've got kind of something in you that reacts or relates to just one of those outdoor videos or whatever. I can never know what things look like to others. I guess I'm more than halfway there now. Can hear the tractor in the distance to my right hand side. Tractors ploughing. I had a brief memory of October and Halloween. Of course, we're a long, long way from Halloween. Only beginning of the year. It's nice to be in a position where you enjoy each of the months. And when I was a kid and growing up, there was this great looking forward to things, which is nice, and it's obviously, there's the tractor. It's nice to look forward to Christmas, and it's nice to have something to look forward to. I think it's a big psychological boost. But to look forward to the summer, I used to do this in London a lot. Can't wait for the summer to come. I remember being out in parks and stuff in May and June and being like, oh, this is so fantastic, summer is coming. And I'd actually be depressed when the summer would be ending, and I'd be thinking the good weather is going to go now and going into the winter. I don't feel like that anymore at all. I enjoy the winter as much as the summer. It's a great place to live here for the seasons. I'm so lucky getting to walk a nice, reasonably quiet pathway like this, where the farmers are plowing the land and growing things. Even if it's becoming more and more lavender, but still you can really see, you know, the earth has been plowed. As I'm talking, I'm looking, and it's just they plowed the land here yesterday. The walking out here has a very soothing effect. I was saying that before. I used to think that you had to find immense beauty in things, that you had to walk around in a kind of spellbound daze, or otherwise nature wasn't working on you. But now I really realize it's not that. It's not that at all. That it's just by being in it, it kind of soaks into you. the nature, the stillness, the sky and the hills. You just have to let it in, and you don't have to do much. And the horses. It's an unconscious kind of healing. I got people coming. Bonjour. Bonjour. It's the same guy I met. He said bonjour to me a few minutes ago. Passed me on his bike. Flo knows him. Now he's going back the other way with a woman. He didn't say bonjour again because he'd already said bonjour. One of those kind of awkward moments, you know, when you go, I've already seen you. So I can't say bonjour like I've seen you for the first time because right, just coming to the little plantation of olive trees. That's how near we are to home. And then when I get home, I'm going to take Tuka off for a walk. Pretty sure Flo won't be there. I think she enjoys the peace and quiet of the Connemara to herself sometimes. It's funny. She goes on about how she finds it weird that I would want to stay in the Connemara or walk to the Connemara on a day off. But sometimes she'll finish the morning shift and even very rarely the evening, and she'll stay there for an hour or two. It's a good routine, this. I have to get up in the morning, and a lot of the time now Flo's gone to yoga, so I have to get up myself. And get dressed and go, and be there at 11. And I've said this so many times, the psychological benefits of having a job like that are hard to calculate. Because like this walk itself, the Connemara, sometimes I'd be there in a bad humor and you get busy. You get a table of 8 and you get busy. It's amazing how quickly you forget about any of the crap in your mind. Adrenaline starts pumping. Bonjour. Most of all, though, you have to go, you have to get there. And it's nice to get there. I mean, it's not like going to a job you don't like, it's our job. You know, my mind is on listening to the radio and having a coffee. When I'm going, it's nice. Home from home. And then the Connemara is 45 minutes away from where I'm living, and so I get this walk to do when I want, which is perfect. Because it's long enough to be beneficial and not too long to be a challenge or anything. It's just about right. And then when I get home, I walk the dog, and then it's like got a few hours left to have whatever, a nap, and then it's back to work for the evening, so you're not kind because sometimes the evenings are a bit too long. So besides the money, it was Jordan Peterson actually mentioned this first. And as soon as he said it in one of his lectures, that the problem when people retire or lose their jobs or whatever, it just went off in my head like a bell, you know. I thought, my God, that's so true. I'd never really thought about it before. But I just realized that that's such an important thing. And people don't tend to say that about work. Work is kind of seen as something you do because you have to do it. And everybody is looking forward to retiring so they don't have to work. But I mean, you got to do something. And even when you retire, you got to do something. Everybody's got to do something. I didn't get my thing. Let's get the key ready. Yeah, no flow yet. That's what I thought. When I walk back like this, I sometimes catch Tuco off guard. He's waiting for the car, so he doesn't. He's just lying and he's poof, half asleep. Yawning, huh? Ah, you didn't expect that. You didn't expect me to come back, did you? Allez, go for your pee-pee. No? No pee-pee, huh? Oh. Oh. I need to pee. Boy. We're going to go for a walk in a minute. Go downstairs first. I'm going to pee and I'm not shutting the mic off, so... Yeah, so tough. Anybody's listening to this in the future. Does anybody know where files, like these kind of audio files, you know, now we have car boot sales, or vide greniers they call them here, where you buy all the old stuff that gets left behind when people get old and die or go into homes. So I wonder, will there be such a thing for old computer files? There'll be dates on stuff. And someone will say, hey, do you want a bunch of 2020 audio files? What is it? What's in English? Yeah. I give them to you, 2 credits. Whatever. And then you can go off with the whatever tiny thing they have that you plug into something or other, and you can spend some time with somebody from, let's say, 100 years ago, walking around in the countryside. And you can, can revisit that time. Wow, that's a hell of a thought. You know, sometimes I look at we all do, we look at old videos from 1901 and you think, wow, that's amazing, look at the way people are dressed, and look at the cars, and wow, there's still horses on the road. And it's all fuck, what did I do with the key? You know, but can you imagine in 100 years' time, you'll be able to, like I say, spend a whole day with somebody from that time. You can perhaps you can listen to them talk to themselves for the whole day. Let's go, Tuco. Let's go for that walk, huh? Ali! Oh, hey, good boy. Good boy. Ah, poor Rita. Buongiorno. Ale. Gotta wait, little fella. Gotta wait. He knows the way. He knows the way. He knows the way to get to the ass. Stop. There's a car coming. Can you hear it? Stop. Ali. Shit, I never think of bringing any treats. Now we got two bikes coming. Wait, Tuco. Stop. 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 Up. Where's your lead? Where's the thing? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Jor. Oi, just for a second. Ah, don't pull. Don't pull now, fella. No, no. Not yet. I better hold tight here. It could run off with this car coming behind me. Stop. Stop. This way. Allez. I'm going to let you off now, yeah? I know. He's twisting his neck and he's going, what have you got me on the lead for? Sorry, Tuco, I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Oh, fuck. There you go. I had a thought the other day about movies. You know, you watch a movie, it's like, let's say an average movie now might be 2 hours long. Older movies are like an hour and a half. I used to always think that was a long time. It's something to do with the childhood, I suppose, that, you know, when you were a kid, you watched a movie, got into it. It's because of the kind of half sense of dreaming you do in a movie as well. You're transported. So it's like you go into a different sphere altogether. So it can seem like a different time. I don't know how to explain that. But I was just thinking, you know, when I get back and I turn this recording off, it's kind of an hour and a half probably going to be just that, just walking from the Connemara. And now I know if you're trying to fit movie images into an hour and a half, it can be very time consuming, but I was also thinking it's kind of an achievement that anybody can fit a whole story into an hour and a half or 2 hours even. Normally they're not always, but some of the time a movie is based on a book. The book may be 500 pages long, or the script can be very long, let's say it's based on a play or something, and they have to condense that down into 2 hours. It's a 1 hour 15 minutes or something. It's actually very short. It's a short space of time. It can seem longer when you're watching a film. Don't know why I mentioned that. I never thought about the fact of just the difficulty for most directors is not, it's not in deciding what to shoot, and it's not in getting the actors to do what you want them to do. The main problem is it's trying to get everything into the time you've been given in the movie, you know. And of course that's evident when you hear directors talking about all the stuff they had to cut out, and you get the director's cut, which in some cases can be like an hour longer than the original movie. And you hear about all this extra footage that was shot that they couldn't use, and how all the work is done in the editing. Anybody could do nowadays. Anybody could kind of put up an hour and a half video without too much trouble, but to fit a proper story into that, and sometimes the story is about multiple characters and it's set in multiple places and it's set over many different time periods. I mean, my God, that must be a mind fuck trying to put all that stuff into 2.5 hours even. You just have to pick something. What was I watching that got that true? I was watching the Bohemian Rhapsody with Queen. And it was kind of the first time I realized, my God, the time in movies is nowhere near long enough. I just watched some stuff on Netflix, and there was a thing about Frank Sinatra. And it was in 3 parts, and I think each part was about an hour and a half long, so the whole thing was maybe 6-7 hours long. And it didn't feel, hello, it didn't feel over long at all. It felt right, because there was so much to cover. There was so much to cover. And watching the Bohemian Rhapsody movie, which was on for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, you just thought how they're really just scratching the surface here. That to try and do a thing and show the whole story of Queen, this band that went for so many years and had all these hits, and went through the 70s and went through the 80s and all the cultural aspects of the 70s, 80s, 60s. Not so much the 60s, but still, so much stuff happened in the 70s that would affect individuals living in that decade. Not to mention the 80s. None of it was touched. And the psychology of Mercury himself, and the life he led, and what it must have been like to be adored by fans like that, what it was like to have the parties, what it was like to be on his own just before he goes to sleep, the depressions and whatever. They really didn't get to any of it. That's something could have done with the Netflix treatment. Although not with the director or the cast, except for the guy that played Freddie Mercury, but the rest, you know, unless you were going to do something drastically different, no one would watch that for 6-7 hours. I don't know if time takes on a different appearance as you get older. Time speeds up, so 2 hours doesn't seem long anymore. You know, I used to get depressed sometimes at, let's say, 3 o'clock in the afternoon because I wouldn't know what to do for the day. I'd be thinking, my God, it's like the whole evening. It was at those times that I would drink normally. What else could you do? I got to drink. makes the day pass, the time pass. It's only been over the last few years that I realize, God, the evenings are really short. So it doesn't matter how bored you are at 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, don't worry, because it's going to be nighttime and you're going to be going to bed before you know it. Because it goes so quick. So it kind of sounds a bit weird to say it, but there's some truth in the thing to say. I actually don't have the time to be bored anymore. Very still again. It's been like this now for the whole week. It's still, it's cool. It's actually not even cold. Don't need my hat. Good boy, Tuco. Tuco keeps looking back. He's like, I want to go back and play with the ball. Let's keep going, Tuco. It's nice and still and there's nobody around, so it's a nice opportunity for me to just walk a little further and maybe have a look at the river down here. What could you say to help a future Eddie? I don't know. It's kind of a sad thing, but I realize most of what I say, it's not the first time saying it, it's repeats. I know when I get an idea that it's the first time. First time either something's come to me completely. You want to go that way, Tuco? I want to go, où est le lapin? Où est le lapin? Où est le lapin? I know it's like the first time the idea comes to me. Or it can be the words to express something come to me clearly for the first time. But to be honest, a lot of the time, you're just kind of repeating things that mean something. And you like to hear them again and again. It's like when me and Flo tell stories to each other. Sometimes we're telling the same stuff to each other, and we begin by saying, I know I've said this before, but, and then you carry on to tell a story you've said 20 times. I'm walking kind of near the muck here. I don't fancy getting full of muck today, Tuco, to be honest. So, I'm gonna try if I can and find a way back, huh? Find a way out of the forest. This way maybe, no? Can we get out this way? Got a little light aircraft above. What do you think, Tuco? Can we get out this way without getting cut to pieces by thorns and whatnot? Ah, fuck. Can't get out that way. There's a nice big thorn bush right in front of me. God, it's the worst of trying to... It looks really harmless here. It looks like you got hardly any vegetation, and you know, what could be as easy as just walking through there. And then you come across this harmless looking bush. But hey, we're out. But it's not harmless because it's full of these thorns that fucking latch onto you. And you can't get them off. Right, Tuco, there we go. Let's go a little bit further. We're almost getting to our viewpoint, as we always go to the same place. The river is mostly gone now, compared to what it was after the rains. I think it was kind of liberating to do those videos that I did, me acting the madman. And even though it's only a few, it's like it's opened the valve a bit, if you know what I mean. It means if you do that once, then obviously you're going to go and you can do more, you know, at that level of madness. And I've often done crazy songs, and it's just like moments of release when I let rip and something comes from nowhere. And I should keep this little dictaphone that I do have with me in my pocket. I should try and keep it with me all the time and then let rip on that, you know. And use the stuff. Right, Tuco, that's it. Got to the vantage point. Didn't really look at anything. It's just more a habit, isn't it? There's a sense that you've achieved something when you get to this point of the walk, because the walk has become long enough to be beneficial. It's something like that. Tuco, let's go back. Let's go back and play with the ball. The farmer has ploughed his land again, I think, maybe yesterday or the day before here. I always said the same thing when I see a freshly ploughed field like that. I always wish I could find a box of gold coins from the Roman times. Something worth millions, and it's one of those dreams you have, and you have to take the box and hide it somewhere. And then you take one of these coins to the specialist and he goes, wow, that's an amazing coin, that's worth 100,000. Where did you get it? And I say, oh, I just found it, and give a false place. I found it when we were on holidays somewhere. And so you go, well, where can I get it? 100,000 for it? Because I'm willing to give it away. And he puts you into a collector, and sure enough, you get 100,000, let's say. Just for the sake of the dream. And then you go home and you open the box and you've got like thousands of these things in a box. I feel like that scene of The Man Who Fell to Earth. Bowie sells a ring. Don't know how much money he gets for the ring. And then he pulls out this necklace and he's got like hundreds of these rings on the necklace. I don't think about money really that often. I'm more into trying to make creative videos and stuff. That takes more of my time. It's a bigger dream for me would be to be doing something you really like, find kind of an endless source of inspiration for doing sketches and things, and start to have a really nice following. Start to have a couple of 100,000 people. Maybe that's all ego as well, I don't know. I mean, you'd be getting out the creative stuff, that's good. People would appreciate you, and being appreciated is not really a problem. I mean, that's not egotistical, I don't think. Everybody wants to be appreciated. Everybody wants to be popular. And I don't think it's a huge ego problem to aspire to some time when you hear other YouTube guys saying, oh, you've got to check out this guy, he's really funny. That's what everybody wants to hear. Anyway, that's more in my ambitions, my dreams are more there than just thinking about, wow, imagine having lots of money. But sometimes I can think of, well, the usual thing. Imagine winning the lottery or whatever, and you've got, out of nowhere, you've got 7 million in your bank account. You just check your bank account and you've got a 7 with all these zeros on the end and some spare change. And it's an interesting thought experiment, because you think, what would you do? Life-changing amount of money. Wondering why my teeth feel, they feel kind of stiff. It's the only way I can describe it. The two teeth that he did some work on both their canal roots and stuff, but they both feel a little, yeah, stiff, tight. Kind of wondering, I guess that's going to go with time. Anyway, nothing I can do about it, but wait till next week. I can mention it to him. So that's a great, conversations with people that deviate like that all the time. Especially people that are they know each other very well. And if you heard that in a script and you weren't very old, or you'd think there was some huge significance to the bit about the teeth. When it's like a throwaway thought, it didn't mean anything. I mean absolutely nothing. But I could see myself, if I saw that in a text when I was in drama school, I'd be kind of thinking about that line, you know, trying to do it many different ways, trying to figure out what does it mean. And it's nothing. It's really, it's not even it's hardly it's just a thought. The 7 million, what would I do? What would I do? I don't know. I feel I've got more than enough money at the moment to buy the things I want to buy. It's really true. I don't think I'll ever have the impulse to buy really expensive stuff. You know? Even if I had lots of money, I don't think I could ever spend 500 euros on a dictaphone. I don't care what the qualifications of the dictaphone are. To me, it's a dictaphone. And it does the same function and the same job as this 4 euro mic that I'm using, plus a very old Lenny phone. Let's go this way, Tuco, shall we? Oh, careful, careful. They're going to stick on you, no? What, Tuco? He has to pee on everything. So I could see myself going online and going on a spending spree, but I'd be buying the same kind of stuff. I'd be still looking for the cheap kind of version of the 360 camera. I don't think I'd be going for the top ones. I'd be thinking, why bother throwing money away? Just get that one, it's going to be the same. I'd never be the type to spend thousands and thousands on some luxury item. I'd never want to show anything off. That's just not anything. I've never ever had any inclination to show anything off. I think it'd be nice to travel. Let's say it'd be nice to go to America, kind of no expense spared. You get there and you can do anything you want. Flo is still not back. Unbelievable. Maybe she's talking to that girl. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't see the white car. That's how I know she's not back. I'm walking through the field. Call this the field of the parrot drone. This is where most of the parrot drone filming was done. This field, by the way, is fantastic. If I wanted to do sketches out here, you know, you want to be outdoors doing a sketch because you need to be like you're wandering around in the wilderness or something. This is perfect here. You go back toward the trees. You've got a panoramic view, so if anybody's anywhere near you, you can see. There's no one behind you except the river. And you can really let rip if you wanted to scream or shout. Maybe. So I've had a dream about traveling. That would be one thing with the money that I could do. The idea is to just go to the airport with the ticket, with no luggage at all, and just arrive. And worry about, you know, how I'm going to spend the day. Okay, maybe you'd need to have some of the basics down. You'd want to be sure you had places to stay in and everything. That's fine. But you could do pretty much whatever you want for this. Let's say you're going to go to America for 2 weeks. You know, you can spend so much money on a hotel. You can get a taxi here. You can do whatever you want. Money is just not a problem at all. So you just arrive and just see what you're going to do. Maybe that'd be a stupid idea. Maybe the proper thing to do would be to book everything first, so you've got something to do when you get there. Flo is just arriving. Well, that's nice. That's good timing. Who's that, Tuco? No? Look. Who's that in the white car? Who's that? Who's that? Who's there? Yeah, I think so. Where are our trees?
Eddie and Flo?
Mm.
They're here. You don't see them, but that's Eddie. And that's Flo.
Oh, right.
They're very small, in fact. Huh?
Even they lose their leaves even at that size?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I'm going to go and pick up my piece of food.
Did you see him when he saw you? Like the wind. He ran like the wind from
Yeah,
off over
yeah,
there
yeah,
as soon
yeah.
as he saw the car.
Yeah.
Now he wants to play with his ball, don't you? Where's your ball, you grumpy looking fella? Where's the football?
I'll go and check when both as well for long.
Where's the football? Où est le boule?
Where's she going? She's not going with you. Shall I close the ID?
Yeah, you can take him with you after though to go to the garage, I suppose.
And please, not there.
No, never. Good fella, huh? Good. You ready? You ready? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Up. Needless to say, I'm playing football with the Tuco. Where's that ball? Where is it? Oh. I'm not able to run after you, Tuco. I've been walking for an hour and a half. Too tired now. You want to go? Where's Flo? You want to go to Flo? Leave the ball though. Leave the ball. Leave the ball. Do you want to go and see Flo? Where's Flo? Where did she go? Poor Rita. Couldn't deal with the dog. She's like a mad dog when you let her out. Like a mad dog. Tuco. Tuco. You want to come back? Well, that would seem like a rather long recording, and I guess I'm not going to walk around talking to myself all day. I could do it. But I think I'm going to save this recording now. Yeah, it's been 1 hour and 32 minutes. That's what I thought. About an hour and a half. Adios.